I thought I was smarter than the others. I'd read the stories, watched the videos, heard the warnings, but when she looked at me, when she said my name like that, I believed her. And now I'm here, telling you what I should have told myself. Don't be me. The eviction notice sits on the table in front of me. 3 days. That's all I have left in this apartment. The walls are bare now. Everything worth taking is already gone. My phone buzzes again. Another message from my daughter back in Victoria. Dad, please come home. We're worried. I can't face her yet. Can't face any of them. Not after what I've done. Not after how stupid I've been. 6 months ago, my brother sent me a YouTube video. The title was something like, "Don't fall for this scam." I remember clicking it, watching maybe 2 minutes. Some guy talking about Filipino women and Western men and money. I laughed. Actually, laughed out loud. Closed it. Sent him back a message saying, "I'm not an idiot, mate." But I was. God, I was. I just retired after 40 years working logistics in Melbourne, 40 years of early mornings and late nights and doing everything right. My wife Margaret passed 3 years ago. Cancer, quick and cruel. The kids, Sarah and Tom, they tried to be around at first, but they have their own lives, their own families. I didn't blame them. I just felt invisible, like I'd done my part and now I was just waiting. Waiting for what? I didn't know. Then one night I'm scrolling through my phone and I see an ad. Retire in paradise. Affordable, warm, welcoming. The Philippines. I'd never thought about it before. But sitting there in my empty house in Victoria, with the heater broken and the rain hammering the roof, it sounded good. Really good. I wasn't running away. That's what I told myself. I was just looking for something. A change. An adventure. Maybe a reason to wake up in the morning. I booked a one-way ticket. Told the kids I'd be gone a few months. Just trying something new, I said. Sarah asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. I wasn't fine. But I didn't know that yet. I thought I was smart enough to handle whatever came. I thought I knew myself. I was wrong about everything. 4 months ago, I'm sitting in a cafe near Greenbelt in Makati. I've been in Manila 2 weeks by then, staying in a modest Airbnb, walking around, eating alone, smiling at people who don't smile back. I'm trying to like it here, trying to feel something other than lost. The cafe is busy. I'm at a small table by the window, drinking overpriced coffee and watching the crowd. Then she sits down, right across from me. No asking, no hesitation, just sits down like we'd planned to meet. "You look lonely," she says. I blink at her. She's young, maybe 30. Pretty, dark eyes, confident smile, wearing a simple dress and flip-flops. "I'm sorry," I say. She laughs. "Your face. You have that look, like you don't know if you should stay or go." I don't know what to say. I'm flustered. It's been 3 years since a woman looked at me like that. Like I'm interesting. "I'm Liezel," she says, extending her hand. I shake it. Her hand is warm, small. "Lionel, I manage." "Aussie?" she asks, grinning. "Yeah, Victoria." I knew it, the accent. I love Australian accents. She leans back in her chair, completely relaxed. Like we're old friends. "You here on holiday?" "Sort of. Retirement trip. Just seeing what's out here." "And? What do you think?" I hesitate. "It's different." She laughs again. "That's a polite way of saying you hate it." No. It's just, you're lonely," she says, cutting me off. "It's okay. Manila is lonely if you don't know anyone." I look at her, really look at her. There's something about her, the way she talks, the way she's not trying too hard, just direct, honest. "I work at a call center," she says, like I'd asked. "Night shifts mostly. American accounts. I'm trying to save up for nursing school. That's my dream. Be a nurse. Help people. That's a good dream," I say. "Yeah, but dreams cost money," she shrugs. "What about you? What was your dream?" No one had asked me that in years. "I don't know. I thought I had it. Wife, kids. Good job. Then my wife died, and now I'm just here. Her face softens. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's been 3 years. That doesn't make it easier, she says quietly, and something in my chest cracks. We talk for 3 hours. About everything. About nothing. She tells me about growing up in a small town in Mindanao, about her family, about wanting to see the world but never having the money. I tell her about Melbourne, about Margaret, about feeling like my life ended when hers did. She listens, really listens, not just nodding politely. She asks questions, laughs at my stories, touches my hand once when I talk about Margaret. When she finally stands to leave, she pulls out a pen from her bag, writes her number on a napkin. Text me, she says, if you want to see Manila with someone who actually knows it. I take the napkin, stare at it after she's gone. That night, I don't sleep. I just keep looking at that number, wondering if it's real, wondering if she's real, wondering if maybe I came here for this. We start seeing each other every day. She messages me in the morning. Good morning, Lionel, with a little sun emoji. It's stupid, but it makes me smile. We meet for lunch, for coffee, for long walks along Roxas Boulevard. She takes me to places I'd never find on my own, little restaurants tucked away in alleys, markets full of noise and color, street food stalls, where she orders for me because I can't pronounce anything. Try this, she says, handing me something fried on a stick. What is it? Does it matter? Just try it. I do. It's good. She laughs at my face. See? You're adventurous. I'm really not. You're here? Aren't you? She's right. I am here. And for the first time in years, I feel alive. She teaches me Tagalog phrases. Kumusta ka? How are you? Salamat. Thank you. I'm terrible at it. My accent makes her laugh every time. But she's patient, encouraging. We go to the movies, some Filipino action film I don't understand, but I don't care. I just like sitting next to her in the dark, feeling her laugh, feeling her lean into me when she's cold from the aircon. One night, we're walking back to my Airbnb. It's late, the streets are quieter. She's talking about something. I'm not really listening, just watching her. The way she moves, the way she talks with her hands. Lionel, are you even listening? She asks, stopping. No, I admit, she smiles. What are you thinking about? You. She looks at me for a long moment, then steps closer. You're sweet, she says. I don't think I am. You are, you just don't know it. That night, she doesn't go home, and I stop pretending this is just friendship. A week later, we're having dinner. Nothing fancy, just a little place near her apartment. She's quiet, picking at her food. You okay? I ask. Yeah, just tired. Work? Yeah, and other stuff. She puts her fork down, looks at me. My mom's sick. What's wrong? I don't know. She won't go to the doctor. Says it's too expensive. She shows me her phone, a message from her sister, a photo of a hospital bill, 15,000 pesos. My heart sinks. She finally agreed to get checked, Leisel says quietly. But I don't have that kind of money right now. Let me help, I say. She shakes her head. No, Lionel. I wasn't asking. I know, but I want to. She looks at me, eyes shining. I can't. It's too much. It's nothing, really. I pull out my phone. What's the account number? Lionel. Please, let me do this. She doesn't argue anymore, just gives me the details. I transfer the money right there. She cries, hugs me so tight I can barely breathe. Thank you, she whispers. Thank you so much. And I feel good, really good, like I matter again. A week later, her phone breaks, just stops working. She's panicking because she needs it for work, for her call center job. I buy her a new one. Nothing fancy, but she acts like I've given her the world. Then her landlord raises the rent. She's stressed. Can't afford it. Might have to move somewhere cheaper, somewhere far from the city. I offer to cover 2 months. She refuses at first. But I insist, and eventually, she lets me. Every time, she thanks me. Every time, she cries. Every time, she makes me feel like I'm saving her. And maybe I am. Maybe that's what love is. Helping someone. Being needed. I don't think about the money. I don't think about how fast it's going. I just think about her smile and how good it feels to be the reason for it. Carlo shows up one afternoon. We're having lunch at a mall food court. Liesel's on her phone, texting someone. Then she looks up and waves. A guy walks over. Mid-20s, cocky smile, tank top and jeans, gold chain around his neck. Lionel, this is my cousin Carlo, Leisel says. Carlo, this is Lionel. Carlo nods at me, doesn't shake my hand, just sits down, pulls out his phone. Hey, cuz, he says to Liesel in English, then switches to Tagalog. They start talking fast, laughing. I sit there, smiling awkwardly, trying to pretend I'm part of the conversation. Carlo's helping me with some paperwork for school, Liesel explains after a few minutes. Oh, that's good, I say. Carlo glances at me. Yeah, lot of paperwork, boring stuff. He goes back to his phone. After that, Carlo is everywhere. He shows up at dinners, at day trips, even at my Airbnb once. Liesel always has an explanation. He's helping me with this. He knows someone who knows someone. He's family. But something feels off. Carlo barely talks to me. When he does, it's short, dismissive, and he's always whispering to Liesel in Tagalog. One night, we're all having dinner. Carlo orders the most expensive thing on the menu. Doesn't even look at the price. When the bill comes, I pay. Like always. Liesel kisses my cheek. Thank you, love. Carlo just nods. Later, when we're alone, I bring it up. Does Carlo have a job? Why? Liesel asks, defensive. Just wondering. He seems to have a lot of free time. He's between jobs right now. It's hard here, Lionel. You don't understand. I'm just asking. Do you not trust me? Her voice is sharp. I freeze. Of course I do. Then why are you asking about Carlo? He's family. That's it. Okay, I'm sorry. She softens, touches my face. I know you're just looking out for me, but you don't need to worry. Carlo's harmless. I want to believe her. I do. But that night, I lie awake, thinking about the way Carlo looks at me, like I'm a joke, thinking about the way Liesel changes when he's around. But I push it down. I don't want to lose her, so I say nothing. One evening, Liesel is unusually excited. We're at her apartment. She's pacing, smiling, talking fast. I have to tell you something, she says. Okay. Carlo's friend is selling a sari store. You know what that is? A small shop. Yeah, exactly. It's in my hometown, near my family. If I buy it, I can quit the call center, move back home, run the store, be my own boss. She shows me photos on her phone. A small shop, shelves of snacks and drinks, a handwritten sign. It's perfect, Lionel. I could finally do something for myself, build something. That sounds great, I say. How much? She hesitates, looks down. 250,000 pesos. I do the math in my head. About 4,500 US dollars, maybe 7,000 Australian. That's a lot, I say carefully. I know, I'll never afford it. I've been saving, but it's not enough. And by the time I have enough, someone else will buy it. She sits down, puts her face in her hands. I just thought maybe this was my chance, to actually do something with my life. I watch her, her shoulders shaking. She's crying, and something twists in my chest. I think about my savings, about my pension, about the house in Victoria that I barely live in, about dying alone in that house with nothing to show for it but regret. What's the point of having money if you die miserable? I'll give you the money, I say. She looks up. What? I'll give you the money. For the store. Lionel, no. I wasn't asking. I know. But I want to do this. For you. For us. Us. She stares at me. I nod. If you're building something, I want to be part of it. Maybe I can visit. Help out. I don't know. But I want you to have this. She starts crying harder, comes over, and wraps her arms around me. Are you serious? Yes. Lionel, this is too much. It's not. Trust me. The next day, I wire the money. All of it. She's ecstatic, kissing me, thanking me, calling me her hero. Carlo even shakes my hand. You're a good man, he says. For 2 weeks, everything is perfect. She's happy. We're happy. She talks about the store constantly, about her plans, about how this is going to change her life. I feel good, proud, like I've done something that matters. Then she starts getting busy. I have to go to my hometown to finalize things, she says. I'll be back in a few days. A few days becomes a week. She's texting less, calling less. When I ask how it's going, she says, good. Just a lot to do. I believe her. I want to believe her. But something in my gut is telling me to pay attention. I ignore it. I'm at Liesel's apartment one afternoon. She said I could wait for her there. She's at work. I'm just sitting on the couch, watching TV. Her phone is on the table, charging. It buzzes. I glance at it. A photo notification. The screen lights up, and I see it. Her, at a resort, in a bikini, smiling, and Carlo, his arm around her waist, both of them laughing. The timestamp says 3 days ago. 3 days ago, she told me she was visiting her sick mother. My hands start shaking. I pick up the phone. No password. It unlocks. I shouldn't be doing this. I know I shouldn't, but I can't stop. I scroll. More photos. More messages. Love you, baby. From Carlo. Miss you. From her. Emojis. Hearts. Kisses. My chest tightens. I keep scrolling. A message from someone named Kuya June. Did the Aussie send the money yet? Her reply. Yes, 250K. We're good. Another message. You're a genius, sis. I can't breathe. I hear the shower turn off. I put the phone down. Fast. My heart is pounding. She comes out a minute later, smiling, wrapped in a towel, hair wet. Hey, love, she says. I didn't know you were here already. I don't say anything. I just stare at her. What's wrong? She asks. I can't speak, can't move. She walks over, touches my face. Lionel, you're scaring me. What happened? I pick up her phone, hand it to her. Who's Carlo? I ask quietly. Her face goes blank. She takes the phone, looks at the screen, then back at me. I can explain. Who is he? It's not what you think. Who is he, Leisel? She sits down, slowly, doesn't look at me. He's my boyfriend. The words hit me like a punch. Your boyfriend. It's complicated. How long? 2 years. I laugh. I don't mean to, but I do. It's a bitter, broken sound. 2 years. Lionel. The store. Was any of that real? She doesn't answer. Leisel. No, she says quietly. There's no store. Your mom. The hospital bills. She's fine. I stand up, walk to the window, stare out at the street below. People walking, living their lives, not knowing the world just ended for someone. So this whole time, I liked you, she says. I did. You're sweet. You're kind. But you knew, she says, standing now. Didn't you? I turn around. What? You knew something was off. You just didn't want to see it. That's not fair, isn't it? Her voice is calm, cold. You wanted to feel young again, feel wanted, feel needed. I gave you that. You paid for it. That's fair. You lied to me. You lied to yourself. I stare at her, waiting for her to apologize, to cry, to say something that makes this hurt less. But she doesn't. She just looks at me. Was any of it real? I ask. She pauses. Some of it, but not enough. She goes into the bedroom, starts packing. I stand there, watching her take her things, the clothes I bought her, the phone, everything. Where are you going? I ask. Somewhere else, with Carlo. Yeah, and my money? Gone. She zips up her bag, walks to the door, stops, looks back at me. You're not a bad person, Lionel. You're just lonely. And lonely people make bad choices. Then she leaves. I sit down on the couch. The apartment is quiet. I pull out my phone, open my bank app, my savings account, almost empty, my pension, stretched thin. I have a return ticket to Melbourne in 2 weeks. I don't know if I can even afford to eat until then. I sit there until it's dark, until the streetlights come on, until I can't feel anything anymore. I'm packing my bag. It doesn't take long. I didn't bring much. And most of what I did bring, I gave away. To her, I keep thinking I should call someone. My daughter, my son, my brother, tell them what happened. But I can't. Not yet. I'm too ashamed. I walk through Manila one last time, past the cafe where we met, past Roxas Boulevard where we walked, past the mall where I bought her that phone. I remember thinking I was helping her, saving her, but I wasn't saving anyone. I was buying something, buying the feeling of being needed, of being wanted. And she knew it. She saw it the first day. I think about all the warnings, the YouTube video my brother sent, the stories I'd read, the red flags I ignored, Carlo showing up, the constant requests for money, the way she'd get defensive when I asked questions. I saw it all. I just didn't want to believe it, because believing it meant being alone again. And I was so tired of being alone. I sit on a bench near the bay, watch the water. A kid runs by with a kite. A couple walks past holding hands. Life just keeps going. I pull out my phone, start typing a message to my daughter. Dad, please come home. We're worried. I stare at her words, delete what I'd written, start over. I'm coming home. I'm sorry. I'll explain everything. I delete that too. Finally, I just type. I'm okay. I'll be home soon. Love you. Send it. She replies immediately. Thank God. We missed you. I close my eyes. Missed. I wonder if that's true, or if they're just relieved I'm finally coming back. At the airport, I sit in the departure lounge, watching planes take off. I think about Liezel, about Carlo, about the money. I don't hate her. I want to, but I don't. She did what she had to do, and I let her. Maybe she's right. Maybe I knew all along. Maybe I just wanted to believe the lie because the truth was too hard. I think about Margaret, about what she'd say if she could see me now. She'd probably laugh, tell me I was an idiot, then hug me and say it's okay. Everyone's an idiot sometimes. My flight is called. I stand up, walk toward the gate, hand over my boarding pass. The attendant smiles. Have a good flight, sir. Thanks. I board the plane, find my seat, window. I stare out at the tarmac, at Manila, at this city that took everything from me. Or maybe I gave it away. Maybe that's the truth I don't want to face. As the plane takes off, I watch the city disappear below. The lights, the buildings, the life I thought I'd found here. It all fades into darkness. I don't feel free. I don't feel relieved. I just feel awake. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's all I can ask for. I lost my money. I lost my pride. I lost the fantasy of being someone's hero. But I didn't lose myself. Not completely. I'm still here, still breathing, still learning. I'm not the hero of this story. I never was. But I'm not the villain either. I'm just a man who made a mistake. A big, expensive, stupid mistake. And now I'm going home to face my kids, to face my empty house, to face the truth that I'm lonely, that I'm scared, that I don't know what comes next. But at least I'm facing it. At least I'm not pretending anymore. The man next to me is asleep. The cabin is dark. Everyone around me is quiet, dreaming, resting, moving forward. And so am I. Not because I want to, but because I have to. Because that's what you do. You get up, you move forward, you survive. Even when you don't want to, even when it hurts. I close my eyes, try to sleep, but all I see is her face, her smile, the way she looked at me that first day in the cafe, and I wonder if she thinks about me at all. Probably not. I was just another lonely man with money, another target, another story, but she'll always be more than that to me. She'll always be the woman who made me feel alive again, even if it was a lie, even if it cost me everything. And maybe that's the saddest part, not that she lied, but that I needed the lie so badly, that I was so desperate for connection. I ignored every warning, every red flag, every voice in my head telling me to stop. I just wanted to feel something, anything, and I did. I felt everything: love, hope, joy, and now pain, regret, shame. But at least I felt, at least I was alive. The plane levels out. The seatbelt sign turns off. I open my eyes, look out the window. Nothing but darkness and stars. Somewhere below, the Philippines is still there. Liezel is still there, living her life, with Carlo, with my money, with the next lonely man who needs to believe he's special. And me? I'm here, 35,000 feet in the air, somewhere between who I was and who I'm going to become. I don't know what that looks like yet. I don't know if I'll ever trust anyone again. I don't know if I'll ever stop feeling like an idiot. But I know this: I survived. I'm going home, and that's something. It's not a happy ending, but it's an ending, and right now, that's all I need. The flight attendant walks by, asks if I want anything. Water, please. She smiles, hands me a bottle. Long trip? Yeah, very long. Well, you're almost home. I nod. Almost home. I repeat the words in my head. Almost home. I don't know if home is a place anymore, but maybe it's enough to just be moving toward something. Toward my kids, toward my life, toward whatever comes next. The water is cold. I drink it slowly. Stare out at the darkness. Think about everything I've lost, everything I've learned, and for the first time in months, I let myself cry. Not because I'm sad, but because I'm alive, because I made it through, because I'm not pretending anymore. And that, maybe, is the only real victory I can claim.